Hello and welcome to our second destination for the Suze Mallory Trip O Fun 2011. We are in Sarajevo, Bosnia. To begin this video, we will give a special shout out to Michael #1 because he declared our last video the best thing ever. So hi Michael! Mushrooms!
Hi Michael!
I miss you! We are in, as I said, Sarajevo. When we were first planning this trip, everybody was kind of asking us if we were crazy for coming here, so that is kind of our thesis statement, so to speak, that Sarajevo is awesome and that it is one of Europe's best kept secrets. So we are going to be basically kind of giving you a bit of a profile of what's kind of cool and interesting about Sarajevo. We've been here for less than a day and we kind of like loved it instantly. So just to kind of give you a little bit of background on Sarajevo. As you can see in this mosque behind me, this is a predominantly Muslim city. Sarajevo was at one point in time controlled by the Ottoman Empire. Later on it was also controlled by the Austro-Hungarian Empire. During World War II it was occupied by both Germany and Italy. Then after that it was taken under communist rule led by Tito, became part of the country of Yugoslavia. In 1991, Bosnia declared its independence from Yugoslavia, and then, as many of us know, experienced quite a few years of conflict and turmoil, a lot of it based around religious and ethnic differences. Sarajevo is finally on the road to recovery, but it has yet to be discovered by tourists. So what you basically have here is this really kind of interesting kind of east meets west kind of clash of this kind of like crossroads of Catholicism, Orthodoxy, and Islam all in one city. So thus far it's been like really interesting, so that some buildings kind of look like similar to the ones we saw in Budapest, and others look very much in the Moorish Ottoman style of architecture. So I hope you enjoy our video, so please join us on our fun and exciting tour of Sarajevo. So here we are at the Cathedral of the Heart of Jesus. This is a national monument of Sarajevo. It is one of the large Catholic institutions in the city, which is a predominantly Muslim city, but coming around the corner here and watching Mass come out, there are still nuns sitting in the church. It kind of gives you an idea of the sheer religious and ethnic diversity that is in such a small space here in Sarajevo.
We are at the one of the only Serbian Orthodox churches in Sarajevo, or possibly all of Bosnia. During the siege of Sarajevo, this is one of the few places that was not targeted by the Serbians, because obviously it's a Serbian Orthodox church. And funny story that our tour guide told us yesterday. When they built this church, they apparently built the tower too tall, because the tower of this church ended up being taller than the minaret of the main mosque in Sarajevo. So in retaliation, the mosque built their tower even taller.
War of penises.
We are in front of one of the synagogues in Sarajevo. In the 17th century, the Jews actually fled from Germany and other places in Europe to escape religious persecution, and they weren't welcome anywhere else in Europe except for in Sarajevo, because there was a lot of more religious tolerance in Sarajevo that was just kind of part of their culture. And by the 19th century, the Jews actually achieved complete equality in legal status.
So here we are in front of one of the mosques in Sarajevo. We are in the old town. Islam is the predominant religion in Bosnia. There are mosques everywhere all over Sarajevo, but as you can see from, the various religious institutions that we have stopped by, that Sarajevo very much deserves its title of Jerusalem of Europe, with all of these kind of different religions coexisting for hundreds of years here before multiculturalism or tolerance, religious tolerance, before these things were even concepts. So it's really kind of a fascinating aspect of this kind of daily fabric of life here in Sarajevo. So here we are at Pigeon House. I'm sorry, our Bosnian pronunciation is a little bit lacking, but this is one of the best preserved examples of Ottoman Bosnian architecture because so many of these kind of courtyard houses got destroyed during the siege of Sarajevo in the mid-1990s. So this particular complex of buildings, I believe it's actually consists of 3 separate buildings, is basically a cultural monument. It's an extremely rare example of this architecture.
Look, the Olympics were here one time. So hey everybody, here we are in Sarajevo, the place everybody thought we were crazy to come to, and but just a couple really cool reasons why anyone would want to come to Sarajevo. It is a really, really important spot for 20th century history. And I'm not just talking about the siege of Sarajevo from 15 years ago. Right now we are standing on either very close to or exactly on the spot that is considered the birthplace of World War I. So as you can see, there's a plaque here that says that this is the spot where the Serbian national Gavrilo Princip, the Latin Bridge, where he assassinated the heir to the Austro-Hungarian crown, Franz Ferdinand, not just a Scottish band, but also an important figure in history. And so he was assassinated, as was his wife, and that was sort of the lighting up the powder keg that was World War I.
Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
I'm Gavrilo Princip, and I'm a member of the Black Hand Serbian nationalist group. I think I'm going to eat this delicious sandwich. Nom 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 nom. Oh look! Pew pew!
Ah! No! I have been shot. I hope they don't start a world war over this meal! So good!
This is sort of the main square in Sarajevo called Pigeon Square because it is full of pigeons. As you can see, sort of like a pigeon orgy over there actually. They're all sort of doing their mating dances for each other. And lots of rejections, haven't seen a single success story yet. Anyway, in the middle of the square there is a fountain, and apparently the legend is if you drink from the fountain, you will come back to Sarajevo one day. So we are going to do that right now because we really, really want to come back here because it's so awesome.
Cheers.